Greetings, my name is Curse, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 6 of Pipebomb Radio, where we bring you the best in pro wrestling, lucha libre, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. This is it. We're here. And right beside me are my co-hosts.
Hector Diaz, as always.
And I'm Subway.
So, we're going to start with Kayfabe. And I know a lot of people are busy in the holidays, especially since this Monday was Christmas time.
Right.
It's really rare for us to get a Raw on Christmas. As a matter of fact, I think the last time it happened was 1999, 2000.
Was it really?
Yeah, like around 12 years back.
Was it a treat then as it was, this last one?
It was a way better present back then, of course. That Raw, I don't remember it that much, to be honest with you. But yeah.
But you'll remember this one.
Yeah, we did. This one started out with a bang, a pretty funny bang, as a matter of fact. This Christmas Raw started out with Santa Claus handing out presents to all the children. And you're like, yeah, you expect that in the PG show, right?
Of course.
Then the inevitable happened. Something had to go wrong. Because there's one integer in wrestling is that something is always going to go wrong. Alberto Del Rio just came out, and what did he do?
He ran over Santa Claus.
Proceeded to run over Saint Nicholas. And it was. I gotta admit, I don't know if they were going for comedy. I'm sure.
I don't know.
I'm sure they were going for comedy. Maybe comedy for adults. The kids look horrified.
Oh, definitely.
Which added more comedy to the adults. But yeah, it's funny though. He got ran over, and Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler went into what what the IWC in general likes to call the Owen Hart boys.
Right. I mean, it seems really weird to me that in this year you had, Jerry Lawler having a heart attack and having that same sort of tone that they had during that episode of Raw with a Santa Claus story.
Yeah.
It was a little sad, but it was still very hilarious. It just shows that creative understands the kookiness that comes with writing a very lighthearted but still somehow deep wrestling story.
Yeah. And with that in mind, though, Matt Stryker with those updates, it's like we don't know if Santa's gonna be able to pull through, and it's like, oh,
and the dramatic peeking of through the door is like, is he okay?
Yeah, it's like what the and the lead out segments, when they would lead out to commercials, they would play that the slow rendition of Silent Night, which just made it so much more hilarious.
So depressing. It was a depressing Christmas for the entire WWE universe.
In general, though, I don't understand though. Alberto Del Rio, I thought he was a face. I thought he was already a good guy.
Swerve.
I don't think he swerved. That's why he hit Santa.
It was an accident. Come on.
Good thing they didn't check for his ID. I don't think he's a citizen of.
I mean, they played it off okay. I mean, they shouldn't have used him, but the fact that Del Rio kept saying it was an accident, kind of showed that he had a softer side, kind of keeping him within the realms of being a face. But I mean, again, they really should have opted for somebody else. But then again, who drives a car into the arena? I mean, JBL.
Yes.
Would you have JBL just do that?
I'm pretty sure JBL would have been game to do it. It's just maybe he should be in shape. I mean, didn't he just climb Kilimanjaro a few months back?
Well, he almost died doing it.
Oh, okay. Then, I guess he wasn't in peak performing condition. So he didn't take his own products. His own his own supplements. Layfield Fitness, but yeah, and I would have thought that the JBO would have worked, but or somebody else, maybe just have Big Show come out and just punch out Santa.
Just punch Santa. It sounds ruthless, but it would work well with Big Show.
Yeah, you stole my gimmick, because Big Show was the Santa as well.
He was.
A less known fact was that Big Show was in the comedy classic Jingle All the Way starring Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which Michael Cole references. Like, can you imagine Big Show as a Santa Claus?
Remember Sinbad, kids?
Oh, know the kids remember Sinbad like like they remember Sinead O'Connor, you know?
Of course.
Yeah. But I mean, and the match in general between Cena and Del Rio was all okay, you know.
It was just a comedy match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure when Cena, no, it was Del Rio that opened. Well, Cena was getting all this good shit. He was getting like, oh, fire extinguishers, you know, and heavy presents, and Del Rio opens one up. It's a teddy bear.
He threw it at his face.
Pretty hard. Oh man, that did. Yeah, almost ended Cena's career right then and there.
Teddy bear did some damage, right?
Yeah,
it gives him an excuse to not sell.
Should have sold that like a champ, you know.
I'm sure Ziggler would have.
Yeah, if Ziggler was had a teddy bear thrown at him,
holy shit,
he would have looked like Santa when he got run over.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Santa really sold it.
Yeah.
He sold it so well that the tree fell, and it was nowhere near that car.
A random tree just came out of nowhere,
right?
Like a Randy Orton RKO. but hey, I mean, we didn't see Ziggler and Santa at the same time, or in the same room. For all you know, it wasn't really Mick Foley that was under that Santa garb.
You never know.
You know. Speaking of Dolph, by the way, there were some segments between him and AJ that
they were not PG.
Yeah, that I thought were really impressive. You know, they were kind of PG. No, they weren't PG, but they still kept it in the.
They teased
guidelines.
it. I mean,
yeah.
I think if you're not going to go, I mean, we can just keep talking about change it from PG to whatever you want it to be, but TV-14. But they're doing. This is the way they should do it, at least for the time being.
Yeah.
They're just teasing that. I mean, their creative is aware that they have fans who actually want it to be TV-14 again.
Exactly.
And every now and then you have that like realization that they're telling you like, hey, we know, but we're not going to do it yet.
Exactly.
I mean, the whole AJ thing I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
At first I thought like, no, they're not really doing this. Of course they can't. And then, she revealed that she had a shirt on. And it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, clever. Okay.
Yeah, that was really clever, Like Ziggler's reaction, he sold that pretty well, which came as a shock to me, really. But he has like, babe, this is the best Christmas present ever.
Right.
Like, wow. But and I'm pretty happy that Ziggler has a stable now. He has Ryback and AJ,
and I'm sure someone else will join.
You think if you were to have any predictions on who could be a possible member to join this?
I don't know. I really don't know at this moment. I just know that 3-man stables don't really cut it.
Yeah.
Look at the NWO. Started adding more and more and more and more.
And Virgin.
Jeez.
And then it all blew up. But it's okay.
And any predictions on who you think would be a possible fourth member to this stable? Or
I don't know. Maybe some other young guy, because I think just having Ziggler have a stable just shows that he's getting closer and closer to that main event picture, and they're just teasing it now.
Yeah.
It might be a surprise. Maybe at the Royal Rumble he's going to cash in or something, but it's just kind of showing that he's ready, and maybe he'll get some young talent with him, like he already has Biggie Langston, to kind of help them along the way, because you've been seeing that a lot throughout the year.
Well, he already counts as two people. I mean, I don't think they're going to need someone as bigger than him to match.
I mean, would you throw in somebody like a Ric Flair to have that veteran presence?
Because
but would that overshadow Ziggler?
He already has AJ as a manager,
and
so it's like, why another manager?
And Flair kind of established himself as a face on the Slammy show as well, where he unveiled his Rolex watch. Damn, I need to get myself a Rolex too.
Well, you're right in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, I heard downtown has a bunch of nice Rolexes for a good price.
And well, I'm going in a whole different direction. Going back to the predictions,
right?
Why not have in my opinion, the future tag team champions, Team Rhodes Scholars, team up with Ziggler?
I like that.
Then you would have Biggie Langston be the enforcer. You would have the stiff tag team, which would be, the Rhodes Scholars. Yeah. And then you'd have Ziggler with the world title.
You have AJ as your manager.
Exactly. And then Biggie could get, like, some secondary title,
That could definitely work.
IC title.
Yeah.
US title.
You can have
But then they have to be a face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Already have heel champions.
Notice
right now that let's see, the four singles champions are heels.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure by WrestleMania time that won't be the case, you know.
I'm sure by the Royal Rumble that won't be the case.
You think something's gonna happen? Well, yeah, we'll get to that. You know, since CM Punk, right? I'm sure you're talking about Punk, right?
Punk or Big Show doesn't.
Mm.
It can go both ways.
Mm. That's what she said. No,
it can go both ways like a Garada bar.
Yeah. But so you're saying either Punk or Big Show? I mean, you want to get into any specifics with that or not?
I could say Ziggler cashes in at the Rumble, but then I could say Rocky wins. I mean, everybody thinks The Rock's going to win. And creative's already going in that direction. They're already going in the direction of having Ryback win on Raw.
Yeah, which is what I was going to bring up right now. Because, I mean, you're saying that The Rock is a shoo-in, right? And I don't know why, but when you were saying that, I thought you had, you know, Rock beating Punk in mind, but I think you're thinking Rock beating Ryback, right?
Yeah.
I mean, with that though, do you think I think it would be pretty damaging to just have Ryback be a 2-week champion?
Oh, well, definitely. I mean, you're building up the CM Punk thing against The Rock.
Yeah.
It's like Raw 1000, and all of a sudden, you know what? There's 2 weeks left. Ryback, you win it.
It's WWE creative. They're kooky, as you said.
Yeah, but I don't think they would. I mean, they've invested so much that maybe their conscience won't let them.
I'm just saying The Rock's going to win at the Rumble. I don't know who it is. I don't really care. I just know it's Rocky is going to win. I just want CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble. And so he can establish himself as the top star of the company.
But yes, if I were to... But let's say they're going to have a match. Punk and Ryback are going to have a match. The first Raw is the next year, right? So it's like, not this Raw, but the next Raw. So 1 more week from now, 8 days from now, it's going to be Punk against Ryback.
Yeah.
And right now, who do you predict is going to win? And what do you think is going to happen as well? Because
this Raw?
No, this Raw is going to be the New Year's Raw.
Oh, I mean, January 7th?
Yeah.
Shield, of course.
Huh?
The Shield.
So the Shield is going to interfere?
NXT guys, they butt in. And they attack Ryback, I guess. And CM Punk, you know, he climbs up the ladder. Or, I don't know how they're going to do it.
It's going to be,
I heard just a ladder match.
I think they said it was going to be a TLC match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but some TLC matches are like pinfall, but via pinfall. So, I don't know how they're going to do it.
But you're saying Punk is going to win?
Yeah.
Okay, so Punk is going to win. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be a finish like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you can't have Ryback lose cleanly like that. I mean, the only thing I can think of is a Shield, but maybe the fact that I'm just thinking that that's the only option will, you know, surprise me if somebody else shows up or if, you know, there's another turn. You know, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the Shield is probably going to interfere.
Yeah. And I also feel I feel it won't be the Shield. I feel it'll be another surprise, like a surprise person. Of course, I don't want to jinx it, so I don't want to really say who it is.
Okay.
which I'm sure my cohort feels the same way about that. You know. So, but yeah, Punk is definitely gonna win. I don't see no two ways about it that Punk will lose. You know. And the fact that they're saying that maybe Punk's gonna lose is just no. I don't think it's gonna happen. You know. And as for the Rumble, I think that's a story for another day. You know, I think we don't really need to go into specifics on the Rumble because I'm sure we'll have to do another show by then. You know, so we'll just leave it at that, and we're gonna move on to Kayfabe with TNA. And the only notable Kayfabe TNA story that I found out is Bully Ray, or formerly known as Bubba Ray Dudley, and Brooke Hogan. Yes, from Hogan's Knows Best. You know. They're in a relationship?
Yeah, they're in a relationship. The last Impact ended with them making out, and Hulk Hogan catches them, and he just walks away in disgust. And this Thursday on Impact, it was Bully Ray trying to get Hogan's respect. They're trying to team together to fight Aces and Eights, which is another NWO, which should end, please.
It has been dragged on for a while.
Yes, it's been dragging on forever. And yeah, that's that storyline. Jeff Hardy's still going on with Aries and Rude.
Nice, that's good. That's good to hear. So, in general, though, what do you think about this Bully Ray Brooke relationship? You think it should be nixed?
Yeah, I think it's just a rib to the AJ Cena and Kelly thing, you know? The AJ Cena thing.
I suppose. I mean, I don't really see a connection to that, but I guess, I guess they could be ribbing the WWE, the whole...
Well, I mean, you've had this whole back and forth for like a good while. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, which AJ are we talking about at this point?
Yeah.
And the whole, they have like a pending lawsuit. It's just, it's just, small little things to get to to kind of point out the fact.
So you could say this is the Monday Night Cold War, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
No direct conflict, but...
The Monday Night Cold War, well said. I really like that.
With that, we're going to leave Kayfabe, go to backstage segments. I'm gonna pretty much continue on this whole Hulk Hogan thing, because there's not furthering Hulk Hogan's, in TNA.
Do we need to?
The rumor has it is that, well, on Twitter he announced that he wants to be TNA champion, world champion. Yes, he wants to be a champion. He wants to be one of the oldest reigning world champions in history.
Would he be the oldest reigning champion, though, or no?
Yeah, I think so. He would be.
At the age of
59.
Yeah,
59. He's going on 60.
Boy looks 70, though. Hogan looks older than that.
Oh, definitely.
Also Flair, I'm sorry, Flair, but yeah, you do. But any comments on that, Hector Diaz?
I mean, why? He's already done so much, and whether it's a good thing that he has or whether it's a bad thing that he's lingered on for so long. I mean, even Flair kind of took a break from the constant wrestling in his old age. But Hogan's just kind of there. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna go anywhere. But they should really reserve that belt for somebody worthwhile, younger talent.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the product they want to push, not Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is fine,
Yeah. Making those Randa Center commercials.
Right. By the way, I've been to a couple of Clipper games, and Hulk Hogan comes up like every time, and they have a flex cam featuring Hulk Hogan.
No way.
And he's like promoting this like Fast Cash, one of those places. It's kind of ironic.
Even more ironic, his nemesis, the Iron Sheik, actually talks really well to Clippers.
Right.
Blake Griffin. He's actually even has a picture at the ESPYs with Blake Griffin.
Right. Blake Griffin is the real.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he sure loves his RG3.
Yeah. So, as for me and the Hogan title run, I'd say if he has this title run, any advance that TNA might have had just stops right there, Yeah. It just reverts back to where it was when, Hogan and Bischoff went in the first time,
Right.
It's like, we might as well bring back the Nasty Boys and, bring back all these people, It's like, no, don't do this. Push your young talent. That's what you guys have been doing this whole year, and that's what's actually have been making the product better.
Not Jeff Hardy. I mean, he's not young talent.
That's true, but
it'll be the Hogan and Knobs hour. You remember, like Hogan Knows Best.
Yeah, exactly.
Except it'll be in a ring,
and just bring in
and more fascinating.
Yeah.
Brooke will be there. The only thing missing is Hogan's ex-wife. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Hogan won't have a night quit match. I mean, if Russell was still booking, he could put a respirator on the pole match or something. With that in mind, outside of this wrestling and returns, Shelton Benjamin gave his leave of absence, I guess, to ROH. He's like
right.
It's
2-week notice.
Yeah. So who thinks that there ain't no stopping to a Shelton Benjamin WWE return now? You think it's gonna happen, Hector? Or
I think it will.
Yeah.
And like all re-debuts, it's going to be hyped up to no end, and it'll kind of fizzle out. But he'll be there, Maybe just end up in the mid card. But I'd love to see him there. He's a wonderful performer.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have that mic skills.
Yeah.
Does he still? Has he developed a little bit? I mean, just seeing him in the ring would be Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
Even the gold standard was okay.
The character.
Yeah, his character, the gold standard.
Even though it was, I think it was a Butch Reed. I think it was the same thing as Butch Reed. So, but still, yeah. I mean, anything else you think? So you think he is a shoe-in to return or not?
No.
No.
No. I'll give it time. He'll have to go back to developmental like everyone else, I guess.
Really, Shelton, someone who's actually been.
I think he's established enough that he can just be. I mean,
yeah,
Tenside made it, right?
Yeah,
and look at how that went.
He did his best Shockmaster impression.
He did his best Shockmaster, and there's more acknowledgement of Albert, which is a little surprising.
Oh yeah,
it's probably gonna lead to like you said, a big hyping up and like, oh, the monster A-Train is back,
Right.
When I saw that, I thought someone attacked him and he just fell. But when I just saw him get back up, I just like, oh my god, wow.
Oh wow. Oh wow is right.
Embarrassing. I just thought it was one of Santino's funny promos. We couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. And as for me, I think Shelton will return to WWE, and I think he might be one of those people, because you know how WWE likes to unveil new wrestlers like the day after WrestleMania.
Yeah, but on a side note, the Raws haven't been good these past weeks, and their returns haven't been good either. Look at Big E Langston; that was not a good return.
I see.
So it's similar to Mason Ryan,
Not a return. You mean a debut?
I'm sorry, a debut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to the Mason Ryan.
And speaking of debuts, though, remember Johnny Curtis, Fandango?
Right.
Yeah.
Mind if I cut in?
He's not going to cut in.
yeah. Someone
He
stopped
did a
that
dark
dance.
match with Jamie Noble.
And
He came out of retirement.
Jamie Noble came out of retirement?
And to put him over. Because Ted DiBiase's injured.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, I mean, these past Raws haven't been good. Debuts haven't been good. Hopefully this one goes good.
Well, so, I mean...
usually what does good is returns, like Ric Flair. That's one example.
So you didn't really like...
Rock. That was a good example.
So you really didn't like Big Langston's debut?
No. It's similar to the Mason Ryan. It sucked,
What about the Shield's return?
Oh, that was just great.
Okay.
It was...
That's what I wanted to hear. Because you said all of them, and I'm like, no.
I mean, Sandow's wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He did tease a little,
yeah.
with his promos, which were fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't watch SmackDown, so I didn't really get to see his debut.
So, well, let's just hope that Fandango doesn't, get cut out.
Right. I mean, it's put on hold. It's not necessarily going to be dropped yet.
Yeah. I mean, I just say they should give the gimmick a chance. But then again, I guess they're more wary of that because it might be the whole Brodus Clay thing. How Brodus Clay,
I mean, as far as Brodus Clay is concerned, I like it. Just it's good for what it is.
PG.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that appreciate a good Adam Sandler movie. I've heard,
I've heard.
You can have that that niche for those types of characters.
There's people out there who actually like Billy Madison.
Right.
Oh, I like Billy Madison.
It had funny scenes, but it wasn't a great.
But that's the type of character the Funkasaurus is.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do a lot more with that time. Maybe show them wrestle instead of having a squash match every Raw, but
or job.
Right, or job.
It's never a happy medium. It's always either one thing or the other side of the spectrum.
I mean, they should work on that. I mean, the gimmick isn't terrible.
Yeah, but is it taken seriously? Because all he had was squash matches.
Yeah.
Then he lost once, and he got squashed. And then he became a jobber for a while, which made no sense.
So, let's hypothetically speaking, let's say the Fandango character debuts, and his in-ring skills are pretty good.
Yeah.
Then have him feud with someone who's equally or less
like a Cesaro.
Like a Cesaro.
Yeah.
But he had to be a face.
Right.
What are your guys' impressions of the Fandango character? You guys think he would be a face, or you guys think he would be a heel?
That's a good question. I mean, I had the assumption that he'd be a face, but now Subway's saying that he needs to be a face, implying that he was going to be a heel.
If you want to have him over, he's going to have to face someone who is good or of lesser value. But not too low, just a little bit lower than him. but it has to be at his level. You know, a good wrestler to put him over.
I mean, I always saw him as a like the Rick the Model Martel type of character, you know.
Really? Okay.
And I thought he was gonna debut actually as a heel, in my personal opinion, you know. Didn't seem like that, you know. It didn't seem like that at all, though. I mean, those dance moves and stuff like that. I mean, I could easily see them taking the Magic Mike approach, and having him,
Yeah,
like
they can do that. You
yeah.
can take a comedic twist. You can, but then you have like the risk of running to like Riders and Santinos of the world.
Yeah,
that might be
if that's the case, just have him team up with Brodus Clay.
No, then I mean, or have him go against Brodus Clay, then and have him be healed.
Yeah, dance off.
Dance off, and
that always works. I mean, look at Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Vladimir Kozlov.
Oh yeah, that worked wonders for his career.
Yeah, where is he now? I think he went to go join his brother, Alex Kozlov.
Oh. I think he's still looking for that double E.
Yeah, I love double E. Well, or he might be a surprise Rumble entrant. Who knows? Imagine.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Royal Rumble. The surprise entrance, like last year at the Royal Dog.
Yeah, I mean, it could be it could be Shelton Benjamin as well. It could be Vladimir. It could be anybody, making the surprise entrance. But
Vince is high on not drugs. I mean, he's high on he's high on like having people returns. Kind of like the Boogeyman when he returned. He wants more of that.
Well, might be the Boogeyman as well. But let's focus on the winner. Who, in your opinion, thinks...
CM Punk.
Yeah, why do you think CM Punk is going to win the Rumble?
Because it's time. It's his time to have him the top star of the company. We already know he could beat Cena in every match he's had. Well, almost every match he's had. The majority of every match he's had.
They've been.
We know he has the best mic skills in the company.
They've been heel victories and dusty finishes, though. You got to admit to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But no, the Survivor Series, that was pretty clean right there.
Which is,
I mean, nobody attacked Cena. It was Ryback.
Yeah,
and Ryback was going for the win, and then someone just dragged him out.
That's true. The SummerSlam, I guess, by that logic, the SummerSlam victory is also.
That didn't look like a chicken shit champion right there. It looked like a sneaky opportunist, like kind of like Edge.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he does have his girlfriend now, so.
Yeah.
Right.
I understand your logic, but Punk is the champion right now. So are you saying that he's gonna lose to The Rock and then enter the Royal Rumble in the same pay-per-view?
Well, no, that's possible.
You think it's possible? I mean, I think it has happened before, right?
No, that's the challengers that have.
It's always been
entered the Rumble, but that's still possible. He could be a surprise entrance on CM Punk,
That could actually.
Or he could win it in the February pay-per-view.
I mean, yeah, or no, actually, you could just see let's say Ryder, since they like to pick on Ryder so much, you could just see Ryder knocked out backstage,
yeah, they can do that.
We need to find another entrant, Punk. No, but that's bad. That's bad for business. I mean, Punk Rock being the opening match, that just looks horrible on paper,
I don't know.
It's not gonna.
Yeah, it won't be the opening.
Yeah,
we always know the opening match is a world heavyweight.
Yeah, but
it's a shame.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it seems like too much to because I mean, I'm trying to think the way WWE thinks and how it assumes all its viewers are sometimes brain dead.
Right.
I mean, it just seems too much to consume. I mean, but maybe they could have the WWE title match happen. And in the middle of the Royal Rumble, just say oh yeah, Zack Ryder got knocked out. We're gonna have to send in some surprise entrant instead, and it's I mean that could work as well,
Well, also we discussed this on a previous day. Cena could win the Rumble, and he could continue his feud with Ziggler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Because
that can definitely work.
But first, Dolph Ziggler will have to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and on Raw. I saw the spoilers. And he says, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble and become a WWE champion again.
Yeah.
But he could carry on to that feud with Ziggler. But Ziggler would have to win in the Royal Rumble or in the February pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Chamber, which is more likely to have him there and have the World Heavyweight title as a main event. Usually, Money in the Bank winners are main event. The people catching the Money in the Bank happen to be in the main event. except for CM Punk.
And Daniel Bryan as well. Daniel Bryan cashed it in the middle of the TLC pay-per-view.
Oh, really?
When it was Big Show and Mark Henry.
It's not like that. But it's Ziggler, you know, they want to push Ziggler to the top card.
I understand as well.
So, I mean, look what happened with Daniel Bryan. He had the similar manager that Ziggler has. And he lost at a short amount of time. 18 seconds. And, well, let's see.
That's something we need to bring up as well.
I mean, if they extend the whole Cena-Ziggler thing, would you just scrapping the Big Show Sheamus idea, or is it just going to be combined into this entire storyline?
That feud should already be over.
It is.
It should already close in the Royal Rumble. I mean, I know he's going to have another match.
We need to bring back the topic back to the thing, which is Royal Rumble winners. So you're saying it's going to be Punk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hector?
I don't know. Is it too easy to say Ryback?
Ryback?
Because I mean, I think he loses against Punk, but just cleans house at the Royal Rumble. Maybe have Kane in there because he's just one of those traditional guys that can't be stopped. But I think I see that because right now he doesn't really have a real direction.
Yeah.
If Punk is supposed to face The Rock at Royal Rumble. So I see something like that happening, and in the back of my mind, I'm just trying to see who doesn't have like a legitimate storyline, so they can just kind of throw in there, because that's what happened last year.
Yeah.
I think it was Wade Barrett and Sheamus that really weren't doing much, but they were these guys that were projected to be the top stars, and it was Sheamus that ended up winning.
Yeah.
The only one I can think of is like The Miz, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's already kind of been there.
He already.
So I'll probably give it to Ryback.
Ryback makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I mean, as for me personally, I think I'm sorry, it's gonna be Cena. I'd say
Really?
But I'd say like you mentioned, because like my co-host mentioned, we did have a conversation a few days back about this, and I think it's gonna create an interesting mix of drama, because I mean I really do feel that maybe CM Punk might retain the title at the Royal Rumble against The Rock, because I don't think it would make that much sense for The Rock. I mean it does make perfect sense for The Rock to win, but booking wise in the long run I don't think it's gonna really matter that much. What I could see happening though, I could see somebody costing the Rock the match, or maybe just Paul Heyman, not somebody big, because maybe somebody else is already going to be occupied with another person, right?
That's
maybe
somebody.
Exactly. But I do feel that since Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble, and Cena wins the Royal Rumble, and Ziggler cashes in that same pay-per-view, and that's when
all of a sudden that storyline makes more sense, or it matters more.
And you could see Cena's going to be at a crossroads. No pun intended to Rhodes Scholars, but he's gonna be at a crossroads, and he's gonna either have to decide, like, do I go for my personal vendetta, which is Dolph Ziggler,
right,
or do I go for the company, kind of, I guess, like the let me be the guy to beat the guy with the 400-day reign, let me for the accomplishment.
Do you want the prestige, or do I want that?
The personal and.
That's actually a really good storyline. Yeah.
There you go, and they could just build this up, instead of Cena announcing it then and there, like, oh, I'm gonna face this person, make it wait until like it's
give it a LeBron's decision sort of feel.
Yes, exactly. Make him wait until it's like make him wait until it's like 4 weeks, or right at Elimination Chamber has to be like 2 weeks after Elimination Chamber, which would give like a few more weeks before WrestleMania. I'd say 4 weeks at the most.
Enough so they can build it up.
Yeah, but still have them hold out, and every Raw, like, oh, Cena, have you made your decision? And have Cena like be real pensive about it. Have him think, and I'm sure that's gonna create a lot of drama, and that's gonna create a lot of exciting TV. And I mean, and I could go into further detail on who I want him to actually pick, but I guess I could save it up for some other time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah.
It might actually happen. Cena's been in a bit of a rut lately.
Exactly.
Losing, and this might be that payoff.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a while I've just thought that he's just been losing to bring up. He's going down so he can even the playing field with all this younger talent.
Yeah.
But the Rumble might be that that payoff for him.
Exactly. So let's hope it is. But with that in mind, there's a lot of pay-per-views. A year, right? There's like 14 WWE pay-per-views, I think.
Too many.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
But there's gonna be some few changes to the pay-per-views. Like for instance, June. I'm sorry, but I don't even remember what the June pay-per-view for this year was. Was it Over the Limit?
It was Money in the Bank.
No, July was the Money in the Bank.
No Way Out?
No Way Out, right?
Yeah.
June was No Way Out. There you go. And, well, that's been replaced by Bash at the Beach, which was a classic WCW pay-per-view. Synonymous with heel turns, ironically.
Right.
So, I mean, with any comments on this pay-per-view change and any pay-per-views that you guys would like to see, you know?
Starrcade.
You would like to see Starrcade. In what month?
December.
December?
Yeah.
So
what's that, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Starrcade.
I totally could see that happening, you know?
They even bring back ECW pay-per-views, which I think are pretty overrated because it kind of got buried with the WWE ECW.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's nice to see them bringing back the ECW. I remember back in 2009, they were confirming rumors about a Nitro.
Nitro show
Nitro show.
or
a
one
WWE Nitro.
Nice.
Which never happened. Yeah, I'm just hoping for Starrcade and probably Fall Brawl. Or Super Brawl or Clash of the Champions.
Well, Clash of the Champions.
Not a Champions.
Yeah. I mean, I would totally love the Fall Brawl idea because Fall Brawl is a pay-per-view synonymous with the War Games match, which is a match I feel they should bring back. You know,
that's definitely one of them that they should. But I mean, overall, I think they should limit them. They should give it to like a good 6.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole gimmick pay-per-view was just, you know,
annoying.
The overblown like results of the In Your House shows, and they got their own names, and then they get their own gimmicks, and then, you know, where's the limit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe even bring back those small In Your House shows.
The 2-hour ones.
Yeah, that might be great, and just limit the big pay-per-views to like 6.
Yeah.
You know, maybe adding Fall Brawl. You know, which might, you know, which still kind of had its own little gimmick.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah, it was definitely good. So you would like to see Fall Brawl come back?
Yeah.
Okay. That works. And me, I've actually been really thinking about it, you know, and I wouldn't make that many drastic changes. I'm not gonna overhaul the whole thing, you know. But I feel when it comes to a booking wise, I feel the biggest glaring, you know, a big glaring bump on the road to WrestleMania is Elimination Chamber. I mean, I hate to say it, you know, but I feel that does more damage to the build-ups to those feuds, whatever feuds that are starting. That
I can see that.
Because, I mean, that match is so unpredictable, which is good. Unpredictability is good, but not when you're actually trying to do a really long storyline. You know, if you want the WrestleMania payoff, it has to start at the Royal Rumble. And I feel Elimination Chamber has always been like a bump in the road, you know?
Yeah, I mean, back then, No Way Out was just that pathway to see,
yeah,
know, is it going to stay the same? Is there going to be like another stipulation added to the match that they're already building up?
Yeah.
But Elimination Chamber just kind of switches it up a little, you know?
Exactly. And I feel that you either have a title change in the Elimination Chamber match, which is bad, because, I mean, it's good. I mean, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I feel in the long run, though, it's bad, because it just changes everything around, and now, you know, it's like, oh, the Rumble doesn't matter then that much, you know, and which actually hasn't been shown in previous years. You know, the Rumble doesn't really matter that much when it's an opening match, but that's another
unfortunately.
That's a whole other topic. And I feel that, and I mean, or okay, then let's have your champion win. But I feel that dilutes the whole aspect of the Elimination Chamber match. It doesn't seem as that much dangerous of a match when you have both champions. You know, this year, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, both champions walked into that match. Both champions won, and it's like, wow, that match isn't so dangerous or so.
Right. So you either take away from the whole concept of the Elimination Chamber, or you just take away from the build-up.
Exactly.
There's no real win situation.
Yeah. So I mean, just get that off. You know, get that match off.
I mean, would you just get it off, or would you move it to another month?
I would move it to the month of December, and you could rename it. You know, you could bring back the old Armageddon name. You know,
that could work. Yeah.
But have it in the month of December, because the way it would work, in my opinion, is you have it in December. Then pretty much you have whatever you want to be the champion leading up to that WrestleMania, win that match. Because I mean, and you don't really have to, you know, bury your champion in the long run, because your champion is going to be a fighting champion, and they're going to lose, and you know they're going to lose because it was 6 other guys or 5 other guys, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And pretty much how, you know, you have the person you want to be a champion that's going to drop the title, and then you could have that. You could have the champion pretty much. You can have the chase happen. You know, you can have whoever you want to be the champion win the Royal Rumble and go after the guy that won at Elimination Chamber or at Armageddon. You know, so it's pretty much you establish.
It's basically giving another option, but not completely straying from what you currently have.
Exactly. So you have that champion that you want to see lose, win at Armageddon. Then you have the Royal Rumble. You have the Royal Rumble winner. The Royal Rumble winner starts the chase. You know.
Okay.
And you know he's like, and that's how the chase happens. Now, what would I have in February then? I would have Extreme Rules. You move it out of April and you put it in February. The reason I would have Extreme Rules is because it has those stipulations, Extreme Rules matches. You know, usually you could get away with 30 wins. You know, so let's say that you want your champion to still look heelish, or you know you still want them to survive. Well, the Extreme Rules is a perfect way for them to get scot-free and actually, you know, just roll into WrestleMania still.
Because it's perfectly, you know, it's allowed to do it.
Exactly.
Throw in a weapon, gain the advantage.
Yeah.
Have some sort of build-up. I mean, you could argue the fact that, you know, the February pay-per-view is just kind of anticlimactic in a way.
Yeah.
But if you throw in, you know, the Extreme Rules thing, it just... If anything, it just levels it out, or it just ups the ante a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a really good idea.
Yeah. Back to Elimination Chamber, yeah. I think it's just something that the WWE made up by themselves. And they decided to milk the crap out of it. I don't know if you ever noticed that since 2002, there's never been a year without an Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. And I think the same argument could be made, I think, for Hell in the Cell, but I think Hell in the Cell missed out on it just like on 1 year or two, right? I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. But I totally understand your point about the Elimination Chamber. Maybe they are making it too common and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's too common, just like the Hell in the Cell.
Well, which I'm going to.
Something they should bring back is the Championship Scramble. That was a very interesting concept.
They could probably do it. They could probably do a gimmick pay-per-view. Like, let's say they should designate one certain month, like let's say September, and just have it be every single year. Which I think that's what they're doing with June, because I think before it was, I think in one of the months of June it was Fatal 4. Then one of the months in June it was, I think, Capital Punishment. Then one of the months in June it was Breaking Point. I think that's what they're doing with June, which I think they're already up to that. But I think I move it up to like to September, which is post SummerSlam time, and which would benefit whoever walks out of SummerSlam as champion. You know, that's where you built up your stipulation for September. So you could have it be something. You know, you could have it be Breaking Point.
I don't understand why they never brought back the King of the Ring.
I think they did bring it back, but I think William Regal.
No. I mean, like, I don't know why they took off the pay-per-view of King of the Ring.
Because if you want to get into the technicalities, it was their lowest selling pay-per-view. That's why I think it was their lowest selling pay-per-view for 2001 and 2002, and I guess they just assumed that people didn't really care about the King of the Ring anymore.
Well,
so
maybe it's because the winners never really eventually became champions. Well, except Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar became champion, and I think the winner of the 2001 one was Edge, I think.
Yeah, but he never went on to SummerSlam.
Yeah,
he faced the champion.
Yeah, and I guess that also went to...
That applies too. Well, 2000, yeah, Kurt Angle did, but that was like a month. They were a month late on that, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you have Money in the Bank now. It's a bit more, you know, it's a bit more surprising.
Yeah.
So you still have...
Yeah.
Its spirit still kind of hanging out.
It's unpredictable spirit. Which, but yeah, going back to the Tuesday. So, I mean, the Tuesday. Going back to the February, you know,
right.
Tuesday, you know. But,
the second one.
So yeah, so I feel Extreme Rules would benefit heavily being right there, you know, as a standby. And so you're asking, because I don't know, I've always felt that in Extreme Rules after WrestleMania has always felt awkward to me, you know? It's always felt weird. It just doesn't feel right, you know?
It's not Backlash.
Which is what I was going to say.
Oh, really?
Bring back Backlash and let it be the April pay-per-view. Or the late April pay-per-view or the early May pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Based on how they're booking now. Yes, bring back Backlash. Backlash was a classic, you know...
It was just the
Resolver.
Bad Blood, sort of, not to use that.
Yeah, pay-per-view title as well.
But that's what it was. It was just like a personal feud.
Yeah, it's like It's like okay, you had the glitz and glamour of WrestleMania, you know, but now you have the grittiness, you know.
Right.
You have
let's get down to business. Let's settle this. You know.
Yeah.
Let's like Triple H was saying. It's like I want to fight. You know.
Yeah.
Those Backlash pay-per-views were just strictly about fights.
Exactly. And after that, I think I would leave everything as is. You know, maybe just have that alternating. You know, Night of Champions. Some years it would be Night of Champions. Some years it would be Breaking Point. Some years it would be something. Some years it would be a pay-per-view that actually goes with the city it's in. You know, like Capital Punishment. The reason it was called Capital Punishment was because it was in DC.
Right.
Why not? You know, call it something when it's in that city. You know, like if it's in Chicago, like Windy City, Throwdown or something, whatever,
yeah.
Have it seem like wrestling, wrestling-ish,
right?
Like which I'm sure Vince is trying to
give it a territory feel.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how productive that would be.
I don't think Vince ever liked territory.
Yeah,
that's the reason WWE is mainstream,
or is attempting to be mainstream.
Yeah, there you go.
But finally, I think the last big change, because I already said the December thing, the last big change I would do is, and going back to what he was trying to get at with the Hell in a Cell, is I would totally get rid of the Hell in the Cell idea. Get rid of the Hell in a Cell gimmick matches, Just get rid of that.
The gimmick match or pay-per-view?
The gimmick match and pay-per-view as well. Because, I mean, if you get rid of the gimmick match, why have it be called Hell in a Cell then in October? Yeah. And just call it Halloween Havoc. I mean, we already have Bash on the Beach. Have it be called Halloween Havoc. October, Halloween time. Yeah, I mean, you could just have your own motif with it. You could have, the Halloween motif. I don't know if have wrestlers come out in costumes. I don't know, do whatever you want, or have matches, that are
have
really
a mummy and then have like RoboCop.
Yeah, exactly. Or just have really bloody brawls. I mean, I've already set up the Elimination Chamber for being an Armageddon, but I mean, you could also move up the Elimination Chamber to Halloween Havoc if you want to as well, and just call it the Chamber of Horrors, which is what they actually had, but it won't be with the fake electric chair or nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah. But that's pretty much what I would do, pay-per-view wise, and I just want my Backlash back. I just want my Armageddon back.
I want my Backlash.
Yeah. And as for the TLC and Hell in the Cell matches, the two pay-per-views that were taken off,
right?
I just feel that the current way they're exposing those matches, which is once a year, I feel that just dilutes them, that just waters them down, so get rid of those completely and just have them be random, just have them be the blow off to some fantastic feud, oh, you and me, Hell in the Cell, and let it be once every 2 years, or these two tag teams, us against you guys, TLC match, and just have it be random. And
all of a sudden it becomes important. It actually builds something up instead of, the other way around.
Exactly. And that's pretty much what I would do. So
well thought out.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I had a lot of free time on my hands at one time.
I still like the championship scramble.
So, I mean, why not do it?
I mean, I guess it just didn't go over because it was Mike Adderley announcing it, but...
You think so?
Mike Adderley. Yeah, announcing it, and I think that was why.
Well, uno, dos, adios. The Taz.
Another delusional commentator, the Taz.
Yeah, the Taz. All right, but yeah, you could say I had a year's worth of time to think about this. I mean, with that in mind, 2012 is about to close off. We're gonna go to our last topic, and we're just gonna talk about what was our favorite moment of 2012. I mean, you want to start it out, Subway?
Yeah, the Shield debut.
The Shield debut? You liked it?
Yeah, that has to be the best.
Did it make you mark out as the IWC?
Who are these guys,
Yeah.
What are they doing here? And it just made me go nuts. And they throw them through the table, the Spanish announce table.
Yeah.
How nostalgic was that?
Yeah.
Another moment also kind of marked out on was the Hell in a Cell. And the referee low-blowed Ryback.
Yeah.
And he made the Faust count. He climbed on top of him and he just counted 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
I
nice.
thought that was pretty cool. Nice. And then he just proceeded to bury Brad Maddox.
Yeah. Those are pretty good moments.
Definitely.
Recent moments, but yeah, I like that. Very good moment.
I will go back, and I won't go WrestleMania with Taker and Triple H, but I'll go to Extreme Rules with Brock Lesnar and John Cena. That was really solid.
Yeah.
It made me question whether or not, that was real, and that's the really good thing about wrestling. Like, you know, it's entertaining when you start thinking to yourself like, well, is he doing that? Is he not?
Yeah.
And just having that worry, or just being entertained by it. It's really what made it. I mean,
exactly.
Lesnar with the elbows,
and he made him bleed within seconds again. It's like, what the hell? It's like, you should be doing this, you know?
Yeah. Like, should he? I mean, is he supposed to? I don't know anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great match.
The ending,
the outcome was disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, we all expected Lesnar to win, but then again, after that announcement, prior
which
to
is what I was
Rules on Monday. Oh, starring Brock Lesnar. You're gonna make this show
Monday
Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar. I'm like, Cena's gonna win now.
I thought you were gonna talk about the other announcement that happened after the match, which was Cena announcing that he was gonna take a break.
Oh, that happened too.
Oh, he just divorced his
wife. Which, just kidding, guys.
He was just talking to his wife in that thing.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break. Okay. Sorry, fans, for you guys. You guys were listening on it.
And it's like, what? They didn't even mention that the next day. It's like, wow, that must have been a fast, resolution. It's like, no, I don't want you to take a break, and so then
it's not happening.
Like, the first half of the first half of 2012, it made no sense. It was kind of lame.
That's pretty bad, because I mean, that's kind of where my favorite moments are at.
What are your favorite moments?
Right.
Well, favorite moment in total, like, above everything, above all.
Number one.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really want to say the match, but even though it was a fantastic match, and of course I'm talking about the so-called end of an era match between Triple H and The Undertaker, but I mean, my favorite moment of the whole year, wrestling-wise, was just 10 seconds. Or, and 3 of those seconds or 2.5 of those seconds were actually a pinfall.
Yeah.
But that was that one spot when just Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music, The Undertaker, and then Triple H pedigreed him, and then he pinned him.
Yeah, who didn't mark out on that?
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was a great moment.
Yeah. 1, 2, Taker kicks out. Who the hell expected Taker to kick out of that? This is the click right there.
It was definitely like emotionally draining.
Yeah,
I was tired. Like I don't know how these guys feel, but
yeah,
I'm all worked up now. Like Triple H isn't burying somebody. I'm confused.
It's something good when IWC people or like actual wrestling fans tend to mark out in those little moments.
Yeah,
kind of like the Sheamus winning in 18 seconds. I marked out on that.
Really?
I called it the greatest match of 2012.
Which is true.
That was just hilarious. Like,
yeah,
did that really happen? Like, really?
It did.
And I mean, it benefited everybody involved.
Yeah. But but if you guys are being like, but if our viewers are like, no, that's not fair, to me, no, that's not fair. That's only 10 seconds out of the whole year, then I'll give you guys something. It was that one Raw when both Cena and The Rock did concerts, and I mean, hey, we had Cena come back in his old word life persona. He even brought back the chain, Well, right, he did have the padlock
song and everything.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, the rap was okay. I did like it. I mean. But what I was really looking forward to, and I really did enjoy, was the Rock concert that happened, The Rock was on point right then and there, He did kind of fluster, though, near the end with the whole "We Will Rock You."
Yeah, he definitely did.
I mean, I don't know if he was singing, I don't know if he was acting, I don't know if he was just reading the lyrics on the teleprompter, but it just didn't work.
Maybe on his arm.
Yeah. It just didn't work, and but everything else was vicious. That was vicious Rock, I mean, to this day, that line really gets to me. The one in which he's like, because he was just referencing Cena making out with Eve, of all things, but and now your wife's gonna, get the divorce, whatever.
And all of a sudden,
kind of foreshadowing.
Yeah. Like I was telling Hector Diaz before we started the show, I'm pretty sure like somebody must have fed the Rocks that info, somebody knew Cena and
you're gonna have that moment, like did he really do that?
Yeah, probably Michael Hayes was like, hey Cena, hey Rock, Rocky, Cena and his wife are having problems right now, so you might as well say something about that. Maybe it was Vince, we never know.
Vince could probably do that.
Vince likes conflicts. Right?
Raw 1000.
You like Raw 1000?
About Raw 1000.
The whole Raw 1000 or certain moments in it?
A lot of it was good.
Yeah.
Pretty much was it. It was a nostalgia show.
Yeah.
And even the ending was good.
The
CM Punk heel turn.
Also, here's a dark horse.
Okay.
The CM Punk Vince McMahon match.
Oh,
they didn't talk about that. Yeah,
that's true.
Like the only time WWE is allowed to not be PG is when you have Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
He's starring in his own show.
Yeah.
And then you also have CM Punk elbowing that fan.
Yeah.
It had a good mix of kayfabe and actual some real stuff.
Pure drama right there. Yeah, a big ball of drama. And actually, now that you mentioned CM Punk, I mean, that even the CM Punk Jerry Lawler feud, you know what I mean? The whole beatdown that CM Punk did inside the cell to Jerry Lawler, you know,
right.
or the cage
job.
Yeah,
awesome,
that was incredible. You know what I mean? And it extended beyond that. I mean, I think CM Punk was like quoting Andy Kaufman.
Oh yeah, I posted on Twitter. I did it for Kaufman. Which is great.
I'm the king of Memphis. Which is something that Kaufman used to say. I'm the king of Memphis, Tennessee, or something like that. But yeah, like all great moments in Raw, And I guess before we move on to our predictions, just rate this year as a whole. You think this year is good? You think this year is an improvement over last year?
7.5 out of 10.
And you think it's an improvement over last year or no?
Oh yeah.
And a big improvement?
Even though it was kind of stale in the first half of the year, especially after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But it was still good. Raw 1000 was good. Kind of exposed Jerry Lawler for what a horrible commentator he was.
Yeah.
And I think you said this, but after he had that heart attack, he just became a better commentator.
He's becoming a better commentator.
And funnier too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. If we're going by numbered ratings, and I do feel it's a big improvement over last year. Even though last year had the amazing pipe bomb by CM Punk, right?
But it was just one moment.
It was just one moment.
From up all the way to down the sink.
And right now everything's dispersed. And going back to what Hector said about how Cena's probably losing because he wants to even out the playing field. I feel right now the playing field is getting evened out. It's still not there, but it's getting hugely evened out with just this happening and this happening. I mean, whereas before in shows you would just have these random matches between either a CM Punk promo in late 2011 or a John Cena promo in early 2011. And now it seems like it's evened out. Now everyone has their own storylines. Everyone has their own action. I mean, I was watching SmackDown, and I think not only is Naomi, but I think Cameron is also going to, they're just forming a tag team because I think they both did the splits on Rose and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little double tag team move.
So they're all getting storylines now. Even the valets are getting storylines now, which is good. That's always a good thing to have multiple storylines.
You're paying them anyway. Might as well include them in the storylines.
So it's a vast improvement over 2011. And
I mean, I totally agree. It's a solid 8.
Yeah.
Vast improvement over the year before. I do think the early part of it was a little less
stellar.
Yeah, less stellar. Just mostly because they had that enormous build up for Rock Cena, and everyone knew it was going to happen. It's not like it was just going to stop at some point.
Yeah.
So they were just waiting out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was really solid.
Nice. That's pretty good. And we're going to close the show off with our bold 2013 predictions. What's your prediction?
Let's see. Cena heel turn?
Cena heel turn?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
You leave that with a question mark? Hopefully.
Perhaps that bash at the beach?
Cena heel turn? That's what I'm hoping for in this upcoming year.
Yeah.
2013. Hopefully a face Punk, the top face of the company, no more Cena, that's why Cena should be heel, at least the top heel of the company. I mean, we see him as the top face of the company for the past, 8-9 years? No, about 7 years.
Yeah. You think you think I should talk about how I feel Punk is gonna turn face, like how I was saying? Okay. Because going back to him, how I feel would be, I guess you're not gonna wait another show, right? I guess I am just gonna. That's gonna be my prediction, right?
Go ahead.
How I feel what Cena's gonna do. If he were at those crossroads, right? I do feel Cena's probably gonna go after Ziggler, right? And I feel that maybe Punk is gonna still have a rematch with Rocky or something like that, since there's not gonna be another credible challenger to face him at WrestleMania. And I feel that that'd be a perfect opportunity to do a double turn, I mean, and just
interesting.
I don't know how though. I don't know how, but just have a double. I don't know how it could be. I don't maybe even though it would make absolutely zero sense. Have Heyman betray Punk, and align himself with The Rock. Have The Rock come back with his old Hollywood persona, because I mean he is going to advertise a shit ton of movies, by the way,
Yeah, it could go right in. Paul Heyman always plays an agent.
Exactly, and that could just set up, The Rock as this, huge Hollywood heel, like, oh, I'm too busy to even defend the title. That's why I'm just gonna, be a satellite. And just get my promos via satellite,
Because it's going to happen anyway.
Exactly, and that's just going to bring back the old hungry Punk, like Punk is going to be hungry to get back the title, and it's going to be a slow build, You could have The Rock, probably defend the title from time to time, Maybe just, be via satellite every Raw, and just show up for the pay-per-views, defend the title,
Yeah.
Which I think, in retrospect, might actually bring some prestige back to the title, since you're not going to see it being defended that much, And just have Backlash, Punk still lose because something happens,
Yeah.
Then after that, Punk is like have some stipulation saying that Punk can't challenge the title until something happens, and matter of fact, have him say like he can't. There's no way he'll ever have a rematch for the WWE title again, Punk loses that match. He kind of gets distanced out. Now it's Rocky defending the title against Ryback, which he'll beat or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just and The Rock, heel as ever, have Punk win Money in the Bank, and then Punk be like, I want to face you at SummerSlam, and that's when Punk Rock
just extend that. Yeah.
Yeah, Punk Rock at SummerSlam, and that's when CM Punk finally wins.
You mean 3?
3?
The Rumble.
Oh right.
It would be
Yeah. See, you corrected me.
He could have Rock win. He could have Punk win.
Yeah, so Punk would win. The Rock would win the WrestleMania match, and the rubber match for that would be Punk winning and establishing himself as possibly the face of the company. Because who knows, maybe Subway's prediction will come true, and in June
will drop a leg on CM Punk.
Yeah.
And join The Rock.
Yeah, there you go, something like that, And CM Punk could be like, one of those modern rappers now, He could play a Lil Wayne character, a Drake character or something, Yeah, it's like, Young Money or something. So that would be my predictions. And Hector Diaz, what's your bold 2013 prediction?
I don't know how bold this is, but I'm going to go ahead and say that someone from the Shield is going to capture a title before Ryback.
Oh,
I just feel like Ryback is kind of he's purposely being held down,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that he's going to be like in mid card status, but I mean I think the numbers game is definitely going to play a role.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe who knows? The Shield can't last forever.
Yeah.
It might just last for a couple of months and then they can go on their own separate way.
Yeah.
But I don't see. I see the Shield doing more than I think Ryback will.
Yeah,
in a short time frame.
I totally agree with that. And do you feel when they split up though, is it going to be amicable, or you think it's going to be like heads are going to butt?
I think heads are going to butt because I think I can see Rollins as a face.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Ambrose will be a heel.
Yeah.
I don't know about Reigns though, but just the fact that I have those two opposing it can definitely be the result of a feud or just some
You could even have Reigns trying to decide who's he's gonna really side with,
right,
which in turn it's gonna decide which alignment he's gonna be in, either heel or face,
Yeah.
And for a few weeks have him be tweener, for a few weeks, or maybe keep him tweener, he just.
That could definitely work.
Switches between and have him be like pretty much be the litmus test towards having your character having characters again be tweener like how Austin was and stuff I mean, and if Roman's character works it's the silent he just beats up where he needs to beat up because I feel that's how Ryback started out at first, but I feel Ryback is now really face now.
Oh yeah, he's top face.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns is going to be tweener to the book. He's like he's going to befit the situation. If you need somebody to be a bit heel, to face this person, then he's gonna be.
He'll be there. Yeah.
And you need somebody to be faced. You know, put this person in line. And yeah. So yeah, and how do you feel the Shield's gonna split up? By the way.
Hopefully they all go their own separate ways. I mean, they're fighting for justice. They're gonna be something. They're gonna do something PG. You know, like, oh, we'll fight justice our own separate ways. You know.
So you don't feel it's gonna be like a big blow off. You know, like a big meltdown between them, right?
No, it's too early for that.
But in due time, you don't see it happening.
Well, when's the last time that happened? Evolution, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Nexus. It just got buried. Look at the new Nexus. It just got buried.
And
3MB, it just got buried.
There's still hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed their promo on SmackDown. It reminded me of the original ECW promos without Mr. Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was enjoyable. It was a very enjoyable promo.
You're talking about the Shield's promos, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm like 3MB. I mean,
3MB promo? The tattoo thing?
Yeah.
No. That's just horrible. I mean, their theme song's great, but it's just horrible.
Is this theme song? We're just a three-man
It's kind of like a 80s glam song. Even though they look like country stars. But,
yeah.
It sounds like an 80s rock song.
But it totally makes sense. It's WWE logic.
Closing statements. Anything?
Cena heel turn, please.
All right. Closing statements.
I just want a really, really good Royal Rumble this year. A bunch of surprises.
Yeah.
I want the New Age Outlaws to come out on TV at some point.
Yeah.
Well, they did on the Slammies.
No, but
I mean, wrestle. Because I heard they've been doing that at house shows.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. That'd be pretty awesome.
That would.
As for me, my closing statement would be, I just hope it keeps getting better, you know? That's all I could hope for. And with that, you got anything to show, Supper?
Nah, not at the moment. I would just like to plug Pipebomb Wrestling Radio.
Yeah.
The more views, the better.
So you want to plug in our Facebook page?
Yes, please. Oh, yeah. Please like us on Facebook at Pipebomb Wrestling Radio.
Yeah,
we'll make a Twitter account soon enough.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. And yeah, we post a lot of interesting things on that page. You know, history of wrestling. You know, I think if we get more viewers, we'll pretty much put a quick crash course on the history of wrestling, and we'll just show.
Which is awesome. Just in case you want to find out some more fun facts.
Yeah, exactly.
About Brian Pillman or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah. As for me, I like to show my my Twitter at twitter.com/LewisCurse. Of course, you could also find me on yet another podcast, Wolfpack Radio. Look us up. We also have a Facebook page on HP Wolfpack Network. Like us. If you enjoy my banter here, you'll definitely enjoy my banter over there. And the topics are more varied over there. It's not just pure wrestling. It's girls, it's beers, it's booze, it's sports, it's everything, you know, that a guy could possibly like. So like the Wolfpack page, and you know, check out that podcast as well. With that in mind, we're gonna end it off with
me.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at I am Hector Diaz. You can always check out my Bleacher Report articles. I'll definitely throw out a bunch more. This podcast is also on lagpack.com, which is something I'm working on.
Yeah.
And again, if you're not listening to it, you can always check us out on iTunes and subscribe, so you can get it automatically every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Leave a review. We just like to hear from you.
Exactly, and just subscribe to us on iTunes, because you never know when we might actually post an extra special episode. You know, we might just throw in a special, quick episode, or a quick recap from time to time,
just to see if you're listening.
Exactly, but of course, it's always a 2 weeks thing. We'll try to make the 2 weeks thing. Hopefully, hopefully we have 26 exciting new shows for 2013. Right?
Yeah,
let's hope so.
Here's to 2013.
Cheers. So thank you.
And Happy New Year.